So most of you probably know what a ferret is, but is there anyone here that doesn't really know much about them? Okay. So ferrets are one of my favorite animals. I've had about 13 of them in my life. They originated, it's hard, people don't really know exactly what time frame they were domesticated from because it's hard, like they don't really have very good like evidence of their first fossils and everything, but it's thought that maybe like they were domesticated about 2,500 years ago. They're the domesticated form of the European polecat, so they don't occur anymore in the wild. They're just used as pets and stuff now. Their Latin name is derived from ferretus, which means thief, and that's a perfect name for them because they will literally take anything they can get their hands on. Like if we lose anything in my house, we just look under like the bed or something, or behind the couch, and they have like a little stash of all sorts of stuff. Like they will take phones or like my mom's bras or something. They will take everything they can grab. They were originally used for hunting rabbits, and then later for various rodents. The USDA actually approved them to protect like ranches and farms. So if you had like a rodent problem in your house or ranch or whatever, you would call the ferret meister, and they would bring in like a group of ferrets to like chase out the rabbits and then kill them. People think they possibly came from Africa. Others say from Egypt. It's hard to tell, but they later came from Europe and then to America. So it's a picture of two ferrets with a group of rabbits that they had. They eventually became like something that people of royalty would have. So Queen Elizabeth I, she actually had a royal ferret. It was actually considered in the royal family. Genghis Khan actually used ferrets for hunting, and the German Emperor Frederick II had ferrets. So that's a picture of Queen Elizabeth I and her royal ferret. The artist decided to make the ferret look more royal by painting spots on it, which ferrets don't actually have spots, but thought it made it look better. So they're actually the third most common interactive pet now in the U.S. About 3,750,000 U.S. households own one, and there's about 5 million ferrets in the U.S. now. Unlike some other types of animals, they're really sociable. So they love to be in groups. They love pretty much any animal that you will have in your house, and they like pretty much every person. They're not like very territorial, so they won't just bond with the owner. They will bond with everybody. Anybody that comes in our house, my ferret will just sleep on them if he's sleepy or anything. So they're not mean. They're really smart. They can be trained. Like they can be trained to sit or do tricks or stuff like that, and they figure out stuff really well. And when they play, it's called the weasel war dance because they'll jump around, they'll hop around, and they get really disoriented, so they'll just bump into things like the walls. My ferret always runs into the walls all the time when he starts playing, and they make a noise called duking, which is just their play sound. So those are three of the ferrets I had. Dakota is the white one, Ringo is this one, and Badger is the bottom one. And that's how they just naturally curled up. We didn't place them like that, but they always like to sleep together. And then that was Dakota and Rango. We think Dakota was biting his ear, and then Rango was screaming or something. We don't really know, but yeah. So this isn't usually a topic you want to think about for animals, but they're really important to medical research because the way their immune systems and everything and the way they function is actually pretty similar to humans. So they test a lot of immunizations on them, and that's one reason why we know so much about influenza. And the 2009 swine flu is because of testing on them, and they try to do it as safe as they can. And we also, from them, we know about cardiovascular disease and other respiratory diseases. So one thing they do in Britain, it's called ferret legging. They'll put a ferret in in a man's pants, and then they'll tie like the waist so the ferret can't get out unless the man ties it himself. And they just have like a competition to see which man can keep the ferret in his pants the longest. And the rules are that the ferret has to have a full set of teeth, and the guy can't wear underwear. And the longest record for a ferret in a man's pants was 5 hours and 36 minutes. So I guess if you're into that, that's fun. This is a little baby ferret in a hand. He's probably about 8 weeks old there, but yeah, they're super adorable. And then that's another little baby ferret. So yeah, that's a little baby ferret like rolling around. So this is their weasel boar dance. It's kind of dark, but you can see it's just skateboarding and things. So yeah, in conclusion, they're like honestly one of the best pets you could have. Like they're super friendly, and like if you want to compare them to something, my mom and I always say that they play like dogs, but they sleep like cats. They're kind of like an in-between, and yeah, they're really quiet, so it's not like they're a problem if you live like in an apartment or anything. But yeah, I think everyone should have them. They're really good for any kind of lifestyle.